Welcome, everybody. This week we're going to be reading a short story called Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut. You may recognize that name because Kurt Vonnegut is actually one of Indianapolis's own authors. You'll go downtown Indianapolis, you can see the Kurt Vonnegut Library. You can also see this mural pictured here on Mass Ave. So the story we're going to read is called Harrison Bergeron, and it takes place in the future. And what they've tried to do is make everyone totally equal in the future. And in doing so, they realized they couldn't really bring people up. So that to make them equal, they had to try to bring them down. So for instance, if you're really attractive, they cut your hair to make you look kind of funny or make you wear a clown nose. If you are really strong or fast, they hang all kinds of weights and other garbage on you to try to slow you down. If you're intelligent, really smart, they put headphones on you that just shoot random sounds into your ears at random points to try to scatter your thoughts so you don't take advantage of your smarts. You'll notice in the story there are some ballerinas that are mentioned, and the ballerinas are forced to wear masks so no one will think they're prettier than anyone else. So, in an effort to get all of this equality, this is what the government has done. Now, the story itself, while we read it, we're going to focus on a couple things. First, irony. Now, remember, irony is when the opposite of what you think is going to happen happens, like a fire truck catching on fire. Let's read a little bit more from this video here that will tell us a few more details about situational irony.
Picture this. Your friend and you are watching a sitcom, and the sassy sidekick walks into a room carrying a four-tiered wedding cake. He trips, falls, and face plants into the cake. Your friend doubles over with laughter and says, "So ridiculous! So ironic!" Oh, quick, what do? Do you laugh along with the laugh track and let this grievous misinterpretation of irony go? Or do you throw caution to the wind and explain the true meaning of irony? If you're me, you choose the latter. Unfortunately, irony has been completely misunderstood. We tend to throw out that term whenever we see something funny or coincidental. And while many examples of true irony can be funny, that is not the driving factor of being ironic. A situation is only ironic if what happens is the exact opposite of what was expected. If you expect A, but get B, then you have irony. Let's take the slapstick cake situation as an example. When someone walks in, precariously balancing something that shouldn't be carried alone, trips, falls, and makes a mess, it is funny, but it's not ironic. In fact, you probably expect someone who is single-handedly carrying a huge cake to trip. When he does, reality aligns with expectations, and so that is not irony. But what if the sassy sidekick walked in wearing a gold medal that he'd won at the cakewalking event at the Atlanta Olympics in 1996? What if that sidekick was a professional cake carrier? Then, maybe there would have been a reasonable expectation that he would have been more skilled when carrying a ridiculously large cake. Then, when that reasonable expectation was not met by the tripping sidekick, irony would have been exemplified. Another example.
We'll pause there. So again, we'll be looking for irony as we read this story. The other literary term that we're going to focus on this week is hyperbole. And remember, hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration that is meant to prove a point. So for example, you come into class and you say, "Oh my gosh, I had to wait in line for 12 hours at McDonald's this morning." You're lying. I know you didn't wait in line for 12 hours. You're just exaggerating to prove a point that the line to get your McMuffin this morning was really long.